Blake Griffin! Are you kidding me? Oh, man, oh, my. That's a man's jam. I'm what you pretend to be. Yes, they will remember me.
Woo! 13 seasons, 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, and now a retired old man. Blake Griffin joins the show. This is awesome. So stoked to have you here. I'm a little concerned, however, because apparently after this show ends immediately, you and our dysfunctional friend Chandler over there are y'all getting on the same plane or going to the same place? Talk to me.
Yeah, a little bit of both, I think. As of now.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, it's like 7 a.m, Chandler.
It's a retirement tour. What do you want me to do? We got nothing to do.
I am not kidding. I asked Blake, I said, hey, what are the chances we want to have a little slumber party and we want to do this interview together? I wanted to do it Step Brothers style, where he sat right behind me and we interviewed you guys. I wanted so badly to do that, but it didn't work out.
I kind of would have loved that.
I actually thought y'all would go pull it off. That's what I was expecting at first.
Yeah. No, yeah. By the way, do pilots know who's about to get on their planes? Like, is there a poor guy sitting there somewhere waiting on the plane and then you two are going to show up?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a manifest or there's like,
but I don't know.
Flight manifest.
Like, well, can they know the names, but do they have no idea what's headed their way as far as disasters?
They got names. Two other guys.
Oh, it is international.
Chandler Parsons, Blake Griffin, could be two other guys. Who knows?
It is 100% two other guys.
Common name. It's
very common names. I know 6 other dudes named those things. You announced the retirement, and a lot of players, a lot of Celtics players, begging you to return. Was there ever a split-second moment when you thought, okay, maybe one more run?
Yeah, a little bit. I gave it some thought last summer. Kind of going into the offseason, I feel like I think I was done, but I wanted to make sure. I wanted to give it to like the season started to see if I had like that itch, if I still wanted to get back out there. And ultimately, just after so many years, like a lot of surgeries, a lot of injuries, it was time to hang it up and sort of start that next challenge. So once I knew the decision was right, I haven't looked back, but I kind of took my time announcing the retirement for sure.
And when you announced it, it was actually heartfelt. And people who know you and have followed your humorous career maybe expected a little something more dry, more sarcastic. How'd you end up on heartfelt?
I wanted to give like the respect that it deserves. When you retire, when you do something your whole life, I felt like I wanted to give the respect that I gave the game of basketball when I played. And how I approached it. So it was hard. I had a lot of ideas. I had one. I was gonna record a video like recreating the dunk contest where I like take off and just slam into the side of a Kia. And then just the words "Father Time's Undefeated" comes on the screen. And I thought about that. I had a couple other ideas, but I was just like, you know what? Let's just put it out, get it over with. I don't want it to make it too much of a show,
Fair enough.
You're no doubt Hall of Famer. I will go to bat to that any day of the week. Have you thought about who will induct you and what team you? Obviously, it's got to be the Clippers, right? It's got to be the Clippers.
This is easy.
Yeah, I mean, I spent 9 years there. We had not ultimate success, but we had a lot of success. I mean, we were sort of part of that team those teams that sort of transitioned them to having, a little bit more regular success or being at least being a little bit more respected around the league. So yeah, I mean, after 9 years, I think that's the one that makes the most sense.
I can give a pretty good speech if you need one.
Oh, is this all right, let's hear it. Give me your opening remark.
Start it.
Your opening remark, just
Blake Griffin, number 32 in your program.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Oh my Lord.
Damn it. Why would you put me on the spot?
I'm sorry.
Real start.
Blake, speaking of the Clippers, those Lob City teams, you, CP3, obviously DeAndre Jordan, you guys had some incredible memories, incredible moments. What was the most, I guess, fun moments? What were your favorite times there from that era?
I mean, it's kind of a weird answer, just given the fact that we didn't reach the pinnacle. But just like those moments, like in the playoffs, man, when you're down 10 or you're down whatever, you're on the road, you have to go in and win a road game. And we got it done. There was one year where we won multiple times, like on the road, and like those road wins going into Oklahoma City when Katie got his MVP trophy and got a win there, like those feelings after that and how it brings the team together was a lot of fun. But man, we had fun. We had a fun group. Like I think a lot was said like towards the end that nobody liked each other and there was rifts, but like, man, like I ran into CP the other day. And, you know, I talked to JJ, Jamal, all the DJ, all these guys all the time. And it's all love. And it's fun just because we get to kind of reminisce on those good times. So even off the court, man, we had a great time. And I look back at those years with just fond memories. That's it.
What's crazy is even other teams would watch those games. Like I remember I was a player in the NBA, but I would make sure if they were on TV, I was watching that squad. So it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, man, it was fun. It was kind of like one of those things every night you just didn't know. Like CP is doing CP things, and then DeAndre became that person who like nobody wanted to jump with him, and for some reason people would, and he would catch everybody, and it was so fun to watch like up close and personal him doing that. Jamal would come in and cross somebody over. He was getting 6 man of the years. JJ had some of his best years there. It was a fun time.
BG, are you surprised you guys never won a championship? Do you feel like you guys are the best trio never to win a championship?
I don't know if I could say the best trio. I mean, I honestly have to go look at, some of those other teams. Surprised? No, I mean, like you definitely feel like you're capable of winning a championship. You go into every season, with that's your goal, obviously. And if you're any sort of realistic person, that we had a chance. But surprise, no, because it takes a lot to win a championship. Like sometimes you have to get a little bit lucky. You have to be healthy at the right time. Like, if Katie and Clay don't get hurt against Toronto doesn't have one, I don't think. Like that's what it takes sometimes is like everybody being healthy. And part of that is your preparation. Part of that's all the stuff that everybody does. But, I think surprise probably isn't the right word, but we definitely had that expectation. So a little bit let down for sure.
Yeah, because Dante Jones, he had said recently he felt those teams had failed because of immaturity. Would you agree, disagree? What would be your response to that? In
Dante
terms of
from the top row.
No, I mean, I actually kind of completely disagree. I mean, if you look at maybe early on, but I don't know. I don't think that we were ready to win a championship. Like our first year together, we beat Memphis in the first round, lost to San Antonio. We weren't ready. Second year, we lost to Memphis. I mean, they're a good team like that. Maybe that year, but the next year it was injuries. We had mental lapses that I don't think were due to immaturity. I think sometimes that just happens. So. I mean, sure, I guess I could agree with him on 2 years when DeAndre and I were 21 and 22. Sure. But after that, like also he wasn't there. I mean, he was there for a little bit one season. So I don't really, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
We also had, up 3-1.
Everybody has their perspectives and,
Yeah, for sure. But up 3-1, and I don't think we made the right adjustments. We didn't focus. We didn't finish a game. So a lack of concentration in certain points, but there was a lot of different reasons.
I'm kind of glad you touched on earlier about towards the end there, everybody thought everybody didn't get along or there was some sort of animosity, and the outside world thought, oh, you and CP don't like each other. And why do you think we on the outside sort of got that notion? What was that?
I mean, that's kind of what you guys do.
Who, me? No.
Tell us why, Blake. Why do you hate him?
Why did you do this, Blake?
you watch a clip, you see something, you run with it. It's a story, it gets clicks, it's great. And then on top of that, like, once we all left and went our separate ways, like, first time I played against JJ, we got into it. First time I played against CP, we got into it. Like, it's just happened. Like the nature of like bringing people who are, uber competitive, and even if they've played together for a long time and now they're going against each other, you're still on the other team. It's all love after the game, but during the game, no. So that feeds into it as well. So It's just it's a narrative, and what's the better story? All these guys hate each other, or they're great guys. They all get along. They just didn't win. That's not a story.
That's
not fun.
Yeah.
No,
It
it's
is
not
what
fun
it
at
is.
all. You were in LA when Donald Sterling was there and owned the team. We got this new show coming out on FX Clipped. I kind of love that we're living this era of recent history being now made into shows. So A, will you watch this show? And B, have you seen the actor that they cast to play you, this dude named Austin Scott, who's listed at 6'4"? Your thoughts?
Will I watch the show? I'll probably give it a watch. I've actually met the guy who played. No, sorry, not the guy who played me. I've seen pictures of him. Actually, one of my friends is friends with him.
Weird.
I don't know. I mean, the casting.
I don't think he looks like you, but maybe they'll figure something out.
Okay, this is a setup. All right. I didn't know this would turn into a roast. All right, thanks, Michelle. All right,
I don't think y'all look alike. I didn't say I don't want to be mean to anybody. I want to be mean to him. But he's like a Broadway guy.
Who's hotter, Michelle? Say it with your chest.
Who's hotter, Austin or Blake? Shut up, Chandler.
I mean, I'm sure it's hard to cast an NBA team, but we'll see. We'll see how the show is. We'll let the show do the talking.
I like it.
Like the Clippers are one of two franchises with 0 retired jerseys. Now the Clippers, obviously, they're moving to a new arena. That's going to be awesome. How special would that be? And obviously, you've earned that right to be the first one retired. Is that something that you would look forward to? Would you go to that ceremony? Because I know if someone shipped me from LA to Detroit, I hold grudges. I'd still be pissed.
I mean it's obviously a huge honor. I wouldn't turn that down. But I don't know. In my mind, I don't know that I do necessarily deserve. I haven't had any conversations about it. We all, like I keep saying, unfortunately, we ultimately didn't truly accomplish what we wanted. But you do see it nowadays. Like guys, just had a long career. I think Vince just is getting his number retired at in New Jersey or with the Nets. So I mean, you do see it, but it's not something that I would say I'm expecting. If it happens, that's awesome. It's a huge honor, and I greatly appreciate it. But we'll see. I don't know.
Now, is it true that they actually had like a fake jersey retirement for you before you got?
I kind of already got it, so I don't know if I need to show up, man. It's hilarious, man. We walked into the Staples Center, and they did a whole a song, a ceremony. I watched the jersey go up in the rafters, and then 4 months later, I was buying winter clothes.
Oh,
I take the early flight home.
that sucks.
Yeah,
Blake, you will go down in history as one of the greatest dunkers of all time. I gotta ask, now that it's all said and done, do you have a favorite? Is it gotta be the Mozgov? It gotta be the Kendrick Perkins dunk, along with countless memorable dunks that you've had over your career. What's a favorite?
Yeah, I mean, I always say the Kendrick Perkins, because you know how Perk is. He was just so. Defense was his thing, and he was so hell bent on stopping people. So that one always felt good, because he just always felt like he was never giving you anything. There was no what's up, there was no good game, there was no stay healthy after the game, any of that. It was just straight battle. So that one was nice. One of my favorites, I don't know why, was the one on Gallo, my rookie year. I don't know, just something about the spin move and all that, kind of putting everything together. But yeah, I think those two stand out for me.
Those are the only two that stand out for you? Because
I have
one that's my personal fave, Blake.
I knew you guys were going to set this up.
God.
Thank you.
What am I looking at?
We did this a couple weekends ago in Vegas, where this came up, and literally I pulled it up on my phone and I'm just look, dude,
what?
He just done too.
Bear down.
Man.
Feels like over the back. I don't know.
Yeah, looks like an offensive foul to me.
We take that one to Secaucus. It's not holding up.
What a punk. Chandler, you were punchable back then. You really were.
I still am, Michelle. I still am.
I know you are. You're right.
It can still happen, Michelle. It can still happen. We have an hour before they get on the flight.
Fair enough.
BG, give us your Mount Rushmore. Obviously, Vince Carter. I mean, I think you've got to be up there as far as dunkers of all time. Who's your Mount Rushmore? I feel like you're obviously very well equipped to talk on something like that.
Are we talking in-game or dunk contest or everything?
It could everything, all of it.
Yeah, Vince is like number one to me. Like dunk contest, like you go like Zach LaVine, like Aaron Gordon's dunk contest was, I think it was one of the best ones since probably Vince. In-game dunkers, like, man, like Sean Kemp. Like I love the way like Dominique dunked, just because like he dunked so hard. And like as a big man, I'm obviously biased, but it's like it's just hard to like go up and make stuff look as acrobatic as some of these guys do. That's why like Aaron Gordon to me is like what he did was so crazy, because he's every bit as tall as me. He's probably 6'9", 6'10", 230. So I go Vince. I got to put MJ in there just because like the iconic, like him really sort of like setting off the dunk contest with Dominique. I would put Zach LaVine up there, and I would put we got one more.
How many have we done?
Yeah, you've named 7.
I mean, I feel like how many Mount Rushmores are we doing?
Stay with me here. Vince, MJ,
you,
Dominique,
and I'll say I'm not putting myself on my own Mount Rushmore. That's not.
Chandler, you could put him on yours.
Oh, he's on mine. I still got a poster of him in my room.
That's weird. Okay. We have a huge debate going on. We've had it going on, and then Austin Rivers did it again, and it's never going to die. And Chandler loves this argument, so we're going to get it from you here. NBA players to the NFL more likely, or NFL players to the NBA? Who's got the better shot?
I mean, again, we're all biased, but I think NBA to NFL. Now, that's not saying, like, if you had to pick an NBA player to go play quarterback, it's not happening. Even defense, like, there's so many schemes. There's so much, like, information that they've learned over time that they can read and react so quickly that no matter how much training you do, we're not going to be able to go recreate that. Now, if you're saying, like, wide receiver or tight end, I think that's very possible. I mean, I think I saw Austin made the comment after he made the initial comment of like, we've seen it happen with college basketball players who weren't going to go play in the NBA. They went and played in the NFL. So I think 40 is a stretch. And could it be all positions? Absolutely not. Could you go field an NFL team of NBA guys? Absolutely not. Like there's too many decisions to be made quickly. Even offensive linemen, those guys, like they speak a different language. They know offense, they know defense. We're too far behind on that. But if you had to go pick some guys to go play tight end, wide receiver, like I said, yes, that could happen. Again, on the basketball side, if you put an NFL player in the NBA, it's the same thing that I'm talking about with quarterbacks and defense. There's too much information happening too fast for them to truly be able to keep up. People a lot of times think like, well, if I can go make a corner three. Yeah, but you have to be able to guard somebody. You have to be able to dribble. Right. You have to be able to pass. You have to be able to do all these things. So it's the same thing for both sports. I just think that there's a couple positions maybe in the NFL that it could work out in.
Yeah, like my whole point is if you give Blake Griffin, Zion, these guys, if you give them a year or so to train as to be a tight end, they'd be unbelievable. But you put NFL tight ends in an NBA game right now, they would look lost. Blake can play a couple possessions in an NFL game and catch a ball, run, cut, move. They can't just like come into an NBA game and hit a step back and like guard somebody. It's a silly argument, but it's brilliant because it went viral and now everyone's talking about it. But it's silly. Yep. Blake, we just saw the Tom Brady roast, someone who's done their fair share of roasting. Is there an NBA player? I feel like LeBron's kind of the obvious answer, but is there an NBA player that you would like to see get roasted next? Current or former?
Current or former. I mean, Shaq hasn't done one, has he? Shaq would be a great one.
Good.
He's been in roasts. I don't know if he was actually roasted, but I know he's been part of some.
Yeah, former. I think Chuck. I think Chuck, a former player, would be Chuck. Current player. I mean, besides LeBron being like, you know, the Tom Brady, like the GOAT.
But do you think he could handle it? Because they got pretty. They'll get him.
No,
think he can
I
handle
don't think LeBron would ever do it. But I mean,
It's rough.
it takes some guts to go up there and just like
Big
put
ones.
everything out there. I'm shocked that Tom Brady did it. Like,
Wow.
why did he do it?
So is
He's
he now,
awesome.
apparently. He's got regrets now. I'm like, you can't have regrets 3 days later. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Didn't he get
He knew what it
$30 million? Didn't he get $30 million something to do it? Like,
I've heard all
I don't-
kinds of numbers.
I don't think so. I've heard some
I've 5.
numbers that I trust, but I don't think it was close to
Blake
30.
reporting.
Yeah, but it was a
My
nice
sources.
check.
Hold on. What's that? Yeah, no, it wasn't 30.
Yeah, Chandler, what are you just throwing 30 around like it's nothing? What's wrong with you? What,
Next show it's
maybe
gonna
it
be
is.
50 million.
I know,
Yeah.
$100 million. He owns
31
Netflix.
million.
Dude, he's a
I trust Blake
billionaire
more on
now.
this one.
Just off the roast. Okay, we have Paul Scheer on the show occasionally, and he's sort of become inadvertently our Space Jam expert. I don't know how he got that title, and it sucks for him. But he did tell us about a table read that you guys had, and then he goes on to tell us that he thinks Space Jam's not a good movie. So once and for all, is Space Jam a good movie?
The original Space Jam?
Sure,
Yeah.
because he went off on both. But yeah,
It's a great movie. I mean, it's a let's be clear, it's a kids movie, and it gave you everything you wanted as a kid who played basketball and a kid who loved cartoons. Like, it gives you the possibility of like, oh, I can go live in that world. I don't know what Paul wants from Space Jam, man. Like, not everything can be, critically acclaimed. No, I do think it's a good movie, but it's been a little bit since I've seen it, I guess. I'm sure there's certain things that don't hold up, but man, had some good actors. MJ did a great job.
Right?
I had a birthday party. I think my eight year birthday party was Space Jam themed. I had a Space Jam
Nice.
cake. I rented Space Jam. My friends went to the park. We played basketball, and then we watched Space Jam. So,
Yeah.
you
You know what?
Talking to the wrong
Fuck you,
guy.
Yeah.
Paul. My
Screw you,
36th
Paul.
birthday is going to be Space Jam.
Paul.
You're the worst, Paul Scheer. I'm sure he'll be back tomorrow. That being said, gentlemen, I'm going to wish you luck on your weekend. Don't do anything that Shams wouldn't do. That list is very long. And have fun. Thanks, Blake.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. See you in the flash.
Thanks, Blake.
We'll be back in a minute.
Run it up, run it back.